Hey, H here. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about appreciating the small things. Let's go. Now, what do I mean by appreciating the small things? Well, in current situation being in lockdown, it's sort of good to reflect on all the small things that we've been missing, or appreciating just generally the big things as well. For example, you probably appreciate the fact that you could go outside whenever you wanted and you could drive wherever you wanted, and you just had pure freedom before the lockdown. So that's a massive appreciation, just as a quick observation. But the big things are not sort of what has a huge positive effect and a connection with your positive mindset. It's all about the small things, which we will then go and discuss shortly. So to tackle the appreciation of the small things, I have one sort of small mindset, and I've only learnt this since I've had my daughter. But you have to live your life as a 2-year-old, because they're fearless, they're fun, they find everything amazing, to the point where, like, a muddy puddle, without endorsing any sort of TV show there, they can spend hours jumping in the same puddle, getting soaking wet, and think it's great. I mean, now when we're 20, 30, 40, don't even want to jump in a puddle. We'll hop over it and stuff like that for the fear of being wet. But sort of the small appreciations which I've learned to have as an adult, and like I said, it's only since I've become a dad that I've learned to appreciate these more again. So one of my most important small appreciations is breathing. Believe it or not, so simple yet vital. Just think about when you have a cold, or when you're feeling a little bit run down, then sort of your nose or your throat and your sinuses get clogged up. But then on a good day, we forget how easy it is to breathe, and then we really complain about the struggle to breathe when your nose is blocked and everything. But I mean, if you're sort of in good health now and don't have any breathing problems, then just sort of analyze your breathing. And I know it sounds really simple, but the fact that you can just breathe in and out so easily, it's quite relaxing, actually. But yeah, that's one of my main ones for me. So having learned from my daughter about sort of small appreciations, I sort of made a quick list this morning about what I'm appreciative of. Sunny days, actually, sunny and rainy days. The fact that sunny days makes people generally happy and puts positive endorphins in people's systems. But then I love the sound of rain also, hitting the window or hitting the car. And when running, I'd much prefer running in a misty rain than a boiling hot sunshine. So I'm appreciative of those small things. Currently in lockdown, our freedom to travel is a massive appreciation for me. The fact that we're not allowed to go anywhere anymore, or I don't know, if you fancied a nice ice cream, you can't just go and get it. If you fancied a bag of chips, you can't just go and get it anymore, or for the time being anyway. So that's another thing. But waking up before your alarm, to have that extra hour in bed, the sounds of birds chirping in the morning is surprisingly comforting and calming when you wake up, especially in the summer, because you've got a light morning and the birds are already awake, sort of thing. So there's small appreciations, but obviously fresh air. Fresh air is on my list as well. To be able to go out, and it ties in with sort of freedom of travel, but just to have fresh air in your lungs, and the fact that you can go out and have a walk, have a run, play football, rugby, whatever sport, at least you can, breathe in the open air and be thankful for it, really. Because once it's taken away like it is now, it's very hard to come to terms with that, because we have essentially gone numb and immune to it. So for the reason why 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds all find everything absolutely amazing, because it's new. It's new to them, and because we've seen it for 20, 30, 40 or 50 maybe years, there's a massive sort of somewhat immunity that we've got to all these things, and we're numb to experiencing all these things because it's raining. It's just it's a rainy day, rather than understanding that the rain it's water coming from the sky. It's actual water that's falling from thin air, basically. If you just think about that for a minute, the fact that the atmosphere, the world, etc., on the larger scale, works in a natural sort of cycle to generate water from the sky. It blows my mind, really. But having sort of grown up with my daughter, for example, for sake of a better way of putting it, she's taught me a lot already in 2 and a bit years, and they see things in a totally different light, and it's brought back the beauty of the world in its most simplest and purest forms. Like I said, the way we are sort of numb and immune to it all. I recently read, or seen rather, a perfect example of one of these things, about it, sort of the appreciation of life, basically. I don't know whether you've seen it, but there's a small sort of clip video, a viral video, which was used as a promotion, I believe, afterwards. There was a gentleman who was colorblind, and for a birthday of his, there was a company who produced these sunglasses type style glasses. But his family clubbed together and bought him these pair of glasses, which had specialist lenses in them that would cater to a certain colour blindness criteria, which would allow then those colour blindness criteria to actually see colour through them. So, I don't know obviously whether you've seen it, but the family clubbed together, bought him, this gentleman, the dad, a pair of these sunglasses, and he put them on and purely just went speechless. Broke down, started crying, and then the family started asking him questions as if to say, what's that colour? And I believe he sort of questioned himself to say, because he's obviously used to seeing different tones of grey and sort of black, whites. He questioned himself to say, is that yellow? Like, he was looking, there was all different coloured balloons around him, and he was like, oh my God, that's green. So there was sort of the realisation and appreciation from his factor, the fact that he missed out on such a beautiful world from day one. And yet we are sort of walking around some beautiful forestries, lakes, driving past so many different scenic routes on a daily basis, and we're not even appreciative of that because we're numb. And I was guilty of that as well some years ago, but it was sort of just get in the car, go to work, but instead of getting in the car and sort of hearing the birds chirp and the roar of the engine sort of thing, it's a beautiful sort of world that we live in, and we need to appreciate the small things then to allow us to create a positive mindset for the bigger things as well. So this was a very short video of appreciating things, but what I'm trying to say is just slow down, slow your life down and break it down, because we don't have to live 100 miles an hour, and especially now when we're on lockdown and isolating, that we have the time to sort of just look out the window, just open a window, look out the window, turn every sound off in your house, and just listen and see what you can pick out. Because there's a lot that we miss on a daily basis just because we're in a rush, we're in a hurry, and we're numb. But as soon as you sort of pay attention, you don't have to do it every day, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to sort of build a positive attitude And like I said, don't think of it as a negative thing when it's raining, because, I mean, there's water coming from the sky. When it hails, there's ice falling from the sky, and it hurts. So yeah, just take that time out to sort of be a 2-year-old, be the inner 2-year-old of you, and just find everything exciting again. Appreciate small things, and like I said, if you can get that, a positive atmosphere and a positive mental attitude will naturally build in yourself, because you're not finding negative things bad and dark and gloomy. You're finding them exciting as well as sort of empowering then along the way. But now I leave you with a little statement which I read, and it actually made a lot of sense to me now that I'm older and have a little human to look after. But be the person to others that you needed when you were struggling. And I think that speaks volumes, and obviously you can apply to many things in your life, because I know everyone's had a struggle in their life. But be that person which you needed when you're struggling for others, and you'll help a lot more people along the way. Thanks for watching this short, sharp video on appreciation, because I hope you've appreciated this video, because I certainly have appreciated the time and the effort that I'm allowed to have to put into this. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like if you can, comment if you can, even more, and then stay tuned for my next one. Thank you very much. Take care.